And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to my channel. This is your boy FlyIsland guy. We are back in Nassau today, and we're going to be taking a flight over. We're going to be running some cargo over to Cat Island. I forget the name of it. Sorry about that. It is Arthurstown. In Cat Island, Bahamas. So right now we have the Embraer 110 in the FedEx livery. I'll link the livery down below so you guys can pick it up. It's free. And also actually here in Nassau, this is also a free scenery. It's been converted from FSX, and it's also available for download, so I'll be linking that down in the description box below as well. But anyway, we are in a position where we are just going to get started. As you can see, the plane's already got one engine running, so we just have to close up, start the next engine, and get out of here. I have some interesting things to talk about, so let's go ahead and let's get the flight started, and when we get in the air we will talk about it. Okay, so first thing that we'll do is we will close up the cargo door and main door. So let's do that now, and we'll remove the wheel chocks as well. Alright, so everything's closed up, so we're going to go ahead and we will start the second engine. I'm going to turn the generator on as well for the first engine, and let's do the ignition and start for the second engine. Alright, looks good. So we're just going to wait for the engine to stabilize. While we're doing that, just pulling up the map for Linden Pinling here in Nassau. We're departing runway 14 today, so just need to see where that is. Okay, runway 14 is straight ahead. I think this aircraft here is going to be landing on runway 14. Alrighty, so bring this guy back. Generator 1, turn this guy on. Alright, so as I mentioned, I do have a little bit to talk about. And it's mainly in regards to NextGen Simulations and the plans they have upcoming. So in my kind of curiosity and doing like some searching around, because I was trying to find out if there was a Pineapple Air livery for this aircraft. Yet there isn't. So in kind of my searching around, I just wanted to kind of see what was going on with NextGen Simulations, and I was able to find an article on their Facebook page, which I will talk about once we get in the air. Actually, let's go this way. For now though, let's just take a little tour of the updated scenery. This definitely looks like more like what I'm used to. Have some static aircraft here, Bahamas Air. This is exactly what I remember. So when I was there, so these stands here, oh cool, I got a, yeah, -8s. Just trying to keep an eye on the aircraft. I forget the button so you can control it when you're in the cam view, but yes, the terminal here definitely looks a lot better than what's default in FS 2020. So I'm really glad that I found this update. Right. Probably not supposed to be going along here, but you know, what the heck. It's a simulator. Virginia Tech, okay. Alright, so as well, while we're here, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Cameron MD80, who actually left a comment on one of my other videos. I think my first video that I did with the Embraer 110. So I was excited about that because he's a YouTuber that I've been following for a while. Yeah, he does a lot of videos, like a lot of plane spotting videos based here in Nassau. And he also does flight sim videos as well. I'd say he's probably like the #1 YouTuber for like aviation content coming out of the Bahamas. So I'm gonna link his channel down below as well. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, man, this scenery looks awesome. Alright, so we're nearing the runway. Just gonna get into position. It's a beautiful day here in Nassau for a flight, so I'm hoping Arthurstown is the same. Arthurstown is going to be interesting because there's actually no published approach for that airport, so I'm going to be flying in 100% visual. And so my plan is to descend at the right time down to about 1,500 feet, and then we'll make a visual approach to the runway. We may just pass over it just to get a quick look and see, get our lay of the land, and then kind of circle back for landing. But we'll see. Alright, so nothing's coming. We're going to head onto the runway. Right, we can go landing lights on and stirrups on. Cool. Inertial separators on, and I believe we're good to go. Gonna be rotating around 85, 90 knots. And I just realized something. So I'm gonna stop. Right here on the runway. Luckily we have a long runway to use. Just wonder why the engines sound like that. There we go. Alright, let's try this again. That sounds better. Well, better quote unquote. We got lots of runway left though, so it's not a huge issue. Rotate. Smooth takeoff. Good gear up. So just trying to trim it out right now. There we go. Alright, so you can go yaw damper on. On the autopilot. Alright, so I've set our climb at 1,500 feet per minute, and we're heading up to 15,000 feet today. Alright. Cool, so that was a major mistake on my part for takeoff. Keep forgetting the the prop levers to adjust them, but as I said, got a pretty huge runway there on runway 14, so it's not a big issue at all. Alright, so we're in nav mode, but I forgot to switch to GPS as our nav source. There we go. Man, this looks beautiful. So I love the improved water masking for the area around Nassau. I think Grand Bahamas as well. Alright, so right now as we're climbing, I wanted to take some time out just to talk about some announcements by NextGen Simulations. So as I said, I was going around, I was trying to find some like liveries as well as like scenery for the area, and in doing that I was really curious about what NextGen Simulations is up to, and so I decided to take a look around. I looked on the website, didn't see too much there, but then I looked on their Facebook page, and that's where things got interesting. So I'm just going to pull up a document that I have here. Just took some notes down, and I encourage you to go to their Facebook page and take a look and see what's going on in there. But they posted on April 26th about their upcoming plans over the next few months. So I basically just took a note of all of the main points, and so I'm just going to go through them. Before I do that, let me just double check that nothing's blowing up in the cockpit. Okay. Our airspeed is a little low, so I think I'll adjust the rate of climb. Alright. So that should give us a little bit of airspeed. And yeah, should be good to go. Alright, so essentially what they noted was, so one of the first things that they had there was that they're going to be updating the paint kit, and I guess there were people that were asking around about it, kind of what's going on with the paint kit for the Embraer 110, and they said that it's taken so long because they're trying to include instructions in the PSD file, and they're also working on a dummy model so that you could view the changes in programs like Model Converter X without having to kind of recompile everything. Now, I didn't really understand anything in that sentence besides from the PSD file, because I know that I have to do the Photoshop and that's it. But anybody who's doing paint kits who understands that, then by all means rock with it. 'Cause I don't really know what that means. I sort of do, but not really, because I don't do repaints or liveries. So this is the big one that was important for me, and that is that they are remaking the sound set for the Embraer 110, and that should be coming out in Service Pack 1, and I'll mention the release date for the Service Pack 1 shortly. But they did say that they felt that like they did their best with the sound for the Embraer 110, and they know like a lot of people didn't like it, but they were like, look, we thought that we used the correct sounds. They said they did use turboprop sounds, and specifically the sound for the PT6A engine, but they do understand that a lot of people aren't happy with the way the plane sounds, so they're definitely going to work on it. And as I said, it's going to be coming out in Service Pack 1. Now, the release date for Service Pack 1 is going to be Q4 2021. So if I'm reading that correctly, that means that it's going to be sometime around the end of the year, between September or October to December, around that time. So seems a bit of a ways away. There was some people who were saying, well, why don't you just why don't you just kind of, you know, make small updates and, you know, so you could release fixes faster instead of waiting for so long. And well, I mean, that's not a bad discussion, but for them, that's what they decide to do. For me, I really love this aircraft, and you know, if it's going to take them a little longer to get the updates out, I'm fine with that. So I'm just going to work with the plane as is until then, and hope that the service pack provides a good update. Another thing that they mentioned, they said they are also going to research implementing the weather radar, as this is an important feature in the aircraft. So if you're not familiar with this, the weather radar is this guy right here. Right now it doesn't work, it's not operational, so they're looking to implement that as well. And they said plus other features, like they said there's issues with VR, and there was also like noise issues in the cockpit. I've read about that as well. So all of these kind of little technical issues are going to be looked at, and they will try and get those into the service pack as well, along with the engine sounds and all of that. So that's all good news. Hopefully they can get all of that done. But on top of that, they also mentioned like other projects that they will be working on, and so this is where I also got really excited. I was excited about the sound set change because that's my biggest gripe with this aircraft. But the next thing as well is what they're going to be working on. So they're talking about that they're planning on working on the ERJ family. So you know the 135, ERJ 140, 145, etc. So they're going to be working on that, followed by the Saab 340 and the Saab 2000. I'm excited about that as well because Saab 340 was also one of my favorite aircraft in X-Plane. And they also have plans to work on the Dash 8 Q400, the Fokker 50, Fokker 70, and Fokker 100. And they're even interested in working on the Embraer E-Jets family as well, which is going to be the Embraer 175, 190. So they're saying a lot of what I want to hear because, as I said, a lot of these aircraft are ones that I enjoyed flying in X-Plane. So I'm looking forward to seeing those come through. Of course, I can imagine that's a lot of aircraft to work on, so probably not going to be coming through anytime soon. But these are going to be projects coming down the pipe over the next little while. The last important point that they mentioned is that they are planning on working on the Embraer Banderula, which is the Embraer 111. So they said they're going to begin development on that after the service pack is released for the Embraer 110. So lots of interesting news here. If you follow NextGen Simulations, I didn't really know too much about them before I purchased this aircraft, but since I've purchased it, and because Flight Simulator 2020 is lacking so much in terms of the payware, I understand that it's still early days and that will get sorted out, but because it's lacking at this point, any news on upcoming aircraft is always good news for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Go to the NextGen Simulations Facebook page, check out the post that's there. As I said, I just kind of took like the little interesting snippets from it, but there's a lot more there to read. So check it out and let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'm going to go back and focus on the flight. And we've actually hit our cruising altitude of 15,000 feet. And so I'm trying to keep an eye on these waypoints as I said, because I need to calculate my descent into Arthurstown, since it's not a controlled airport, and I'm going to try and get down to 15,000 feet, sorry, 1,500 feet, and then we're going to just head visual, straight visual into the runway. Alright, so I'm going to be back in a little bit, and I'll see you guys then. Alright, take care. And welcome back, folks. We are right now at about 7,000 feet, and we're descending down to 1,500. And just checking our flight plan today, we are supposed to land at, land on runway 32 in Arthurstown. So just to quickly show you what I was mentioning before. So here we are in Navigraph. If I go to Arthurstown right now, let's say open charts list, I'm getting this error message that this airport has no charts. So that's what I meant when I said that there's no published approaches for this airport. So we will be landing on, sorry, as I said, we'll be landing on runway 32, which means that, because the current direction that we're flying in is 120, that's our current heading. So that means we will have to kind of come around and circle back onto the runway to land on heading 320. So that should be interesting. In the meantime, we are descending to, as I said, 1,500, and we essentially should be heading straight towards the airport. In fact, I believe that's the airport right there, right in front of us. So we're just going to go down to 1,500 and just do a low flyby, and then just turn and come in for landing. I make it sound simple, but I'm sure I'm going to find a way to screw this up. So we'll see how things go. Alright. We're crossing 3,500 now. I basically planned my descent so that we should be at 1,500 feet within, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 10 nautical miles of the airport. And where are we right now? We are 13 nautical miles away, and we're heading towards 1,500 now. So yeah, we're gonna probably be about maybe 10 to 11 nautical miles out, which is fair enough. That's not too bad. Our landing lights are ready on, and I will switch on inertial separators just before we land. I'm gonna put props to full though. I'll probably just set up for landing in general. So kind of as we cross over the airport, I'll go, gear down and flaps full, all that good stuff. But here we are. Yeah, it's good to see 1,500 feet, pretty low. Airport is straight ahead of us. That's it right there. So that's pretty good. We pretty much reached exactly where I wanted to reach 1,500 feet. We did get it there. Now the only thing I'm hoping is that there's going to be pappies on both sides of the runway, because it is very common in FS 2020 right now to have runways with no pappies, so you just have to kind of eyeball it and judge it and use your experience to make sure that things turn out correctly. I think what I'll do is we'll fly past the airport, and I'll keep an eye on our distance. We'll reach about maybe like 8 to 10 nautical miles out, then we'll start our turn to head back towards the airport. Kind of think of it, it's probably pretty dangerous to to be this low, kind of right over the airport. I'm sure somebody would be taking off and just run right into us. So, in hindsight, this is kind of a dumb idea to drop down this low at this point. But you know, small things, you know what I mean? Alright. We're about to fly right over the airport. So I think there's a second airport here as well. I don't know what it's called though, but I think there's a second airport. That's just a huge guess. Sometimes FS 2020 really blows me away with like its details and how good things look. And trust me, like once we got close to the island and everything started to come in nice and crisp, man, this looks really good. Really, really good. One of the things that I always hated about X-Plane is that, I mean, unless you had special scenery, pretty much everywhere that wasn't like a densely populated area just looked like some kind of arid desert. And FS 2020 has done a good job of making sure that even the most remote places are, you know, nicely represented, you know, buildings, vegetation, houses, all of that. Okay, so we have crossed We've crossed the airport now. I'm just keeping an eye on our distance. As I said, I'm just going to keep going until roughly about 10 nautical miles, and then I'm going to turn around and head back towards the runway, sorry, the airport. And when we do that, we'll drop the landing gear, flaps down, and prepare for landing. And yeah, what I should have done is maybe have come down to maybe 2,000, 3,000 feet as I'm flying over the airport, just to avoid any potential traffic that was flying out. But I don't really know what's done in the real world, so I mean, if anybody has an idea, let me know. Okay, we're heading towards 7 nautical miles. Right. And I think I'm just going to go into heading mode. I'll just put in 320 as the heading that we want to turn to. All right, almost at 10 nautical miles now. Alrighty, so we're gonna go into heading mode now. We're gonna turn back towards the airport. Maybe I didn't need to go this far, but I just want to keep things relatively safe and straightforward, so that I can give myself some time to stabilize on the approach. Alright, so airport's kind of off to our left now. So I'm just going to turn a little more left. And we are going to start setting up for landing. The props to full. Inertial separators will come on and we'll lower the landing gear. In fact, I'm going to go autopilot off. Alright, so wish me luck, guys. Just trying to trim it out now. Must be a very left of the airport. Alright, let's see how this goes. I'm pretty slow right now, so I'm going to try and speed up. To watch that airspeed because I'm about on the verge of stalling. Didn't realize that. Okay. Pretty nose up right now. I hate when there's trees right in front of the runway. See if we could butter this. See you, bro. All right, we did it. Landing lights were on. These guys come off. Off. Got the external power. Alrighty, folks. Welcome to Arthur's Town. We gotten here safe and sound, no big issues, and I'm extremely thankful for that. It's a cool little place. Now I want to actually go back to Eleuthera. Well, Governor's Harbor in Eleuthera to be specific, so I could see how that looks. But this is my first time here, so at least I think it's my first time here. So yeah, man, this is pretty cool. I'm liking it. Shout out to Art Poole, I believe his name is, who did these sceneries and ported them over to FS 2020. Once again as well, shout out to Cameron MD80. Make sure you go and check his channel. And thank you everyone for checking out these videos. More to come, and I'm looking forward to making them. And also, rumor has it that this person is still waving us in. The arms aren't tired yet, huh? Okay. Well, you know, whatever works for you. Tie bow. Do what you gotta do. Get your workout on. Get swole. Alright, yo. I'll catch you in the next video. This is your boy, FlyIsland guy. Stay safe. Stay fly. And I'll catch you later. Peace.